Folks, WrestleMania is in the books, and it was a interesting one to say the least. We had ghost stats be cemented, we had awesome matches, and we had betrayals of epic proportions. But in this video, I want to give you a quick rundown of the results and give you a one-sentence key takeaway from each and every match at WrestleMania. Before we get into that, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Go ahead and follow at all socials at It's Heartfelt. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So like I said, going to give you a quick result of the match and a key phrase breakdown for it or takeaway for it, and kind of give a TC explanation why. We'll keep this video short and sweet. All right, starting off at night one, opening match, Jey Uso defeats Gunther for World Heavyweight title. And the key takeaway from this match, Jey Uso is the people's champ. Now, it wasn't the most technical match, and I thought it ended kind of abruptly with Gunther, who never tapped out pretty quickly. But you can't deny the people of the yeet. They wanted to yeet, they were waiting to yeet, and Jey has the crowd. Despite what online says, Jey has the crowd in the palm of his hands. He is clearly right now the people's champ, and he will be so, especially what happened later on this weekend. If I sound phlegmy, forgive me, I have allergies going on. All right, we have the New Day defeating the War Raiders for the WWE World Tag Team titles. One sentence, this could have been on Raw. All of this just could have been on Raw. It was nothing but an excuse to push Clash of Clans, so nothing much else to say. Congrats to New Day. Jade Cargill defeats Naomi, and my key takeaway, they both are great. This is what the future of the division needs. Two wrestlers that can pull out a bunch of moves. There's a bunch of reversals, power moves, all that tell a great story in the ring. And they both should be in line for title shots the rest of the year and as quickly as possible. So great match all around. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight to become US champion. Key takeaway, Jacob Fatu will be a dangerous and fun United States champion. He whooped LA Knight down, a good match, and I am looking forward to the future. El Grande Americano defeated Rey Fenix, and one sentence, nice pivot match. Originally, Rey Mysterio was to take on El Grande Americano and got hurt the Friday before WrestleMania. So they put in Rey Fenix, and they had I'm sure it was decided, a lot of it was decided on the fly and last minute. They put on a really good match, and me personally, I think if Rey was still in the match, El Grande would have been unmasked. But the pivot from Rey Mysterio to Rey Fenix, they're going to extend this feud until I guess Rey's back and ready to go, and let Rey still be the one to unmask El Grande Americano. So for now, we have to deal with the ridiculous notion that El Grande Americano is in fact Chad Gable. You silly people. Tiffany Stratton successfully defended her title against Charlotte Flair, and this one sentence takeaway, chicken salad out of chicken you know what. It's been a terrible feud, just no chemistry there, but they still managed to turn a semi-decent match that really highlighted how much bad blood was in this feud. So for that, hats off to them. But please, like I said in the predictions, get this over with and stay far from each other. Clearly the chemistry is not there, and I want Tiffany going to do better things and Charlotte to just go do something else, please. All right, and we have the main event in night one, Punk, Seth Roman. And I got not a sentence for this as a takeaway, but a word. And that, my friends, is cinema.
Cinema.
Again, I say cinema.
Cinema.
It was a great match between three of the best all time to do it. And the double, triple flip turn, whatever you want to call it, for Heyman. Heyman turned on Roman to then turn on Punk to then turn on Roman. I don't know. Either way, it was a masterclass of storytelling. It was a great match before that, and the new pairing of Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman is going to be awesome, and I can't wait. And the fact that we get Paul Heyman with basically still a full timer, even because the difference between Seth and Punk and Roman is that Punk and Roman are part-time in ring, while Seth, if you pay attention, he still is. But Seth will be there every single week and at least be on the mic, as when Punk and Roman are not. So if we can get more Paul Heyman on TV, that's a win. But again, this was cinema. All right, we moved to night 2, and the opening match was Io successfully defending her women's world title against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. And the takeaway for this was showcase of the best. These women are the 3 best in the company, and this match proved why. It was a fun triple threat. Everyone got a chance to shine, especially Bianca and Rhea got to show off their power, and Io just got to seemingly do what she loves to do, that's just jump around, land on people, and Io wins. If they move into a one-on-one feud with either Bianca or Rhea against Io for the title, good. There's no bad options here moving forward. So I am looking forward to what's next, but this match was, again, a showcase of 3 of the best women in the company. Next, we have Drew McIntyre defeating Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight, and I just put fun-ass hardcore match. Ain't much about it. It was a blood feud. They showed off being a blood feud. Ironically, not enough blood for me for this feud, the way they were beating each other up to lead to it, but they used anything they could in the match. Personally, I would love to see it continue, but this was definitely a culmination, especially with Drew getting the win of a feud. So look for Drew maybe to go in the title picture. I don't know, maybe Damian to go for the US title. We'll see, but just a fun match, a hardcore match in a WrestleMania that really didn't, it was very gimmick lacking, if you think about it. So great match, you two. Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way, in which Dominic Mysterio beat Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, and Penta to capture the Intercontinental title. And my takeaway is finally Dom gets his main roster moment. Now, he's won the NXT North America title on 2 occasions, and he's won the tag titles on the main roster, but he's never held main roster singles gold. This finish, especially pinning his Judgment Day teammate Finn, that's gonna be some fun for the Raw after Mania and so on. But listen to that crowd at Mania when he won. They went erupted. Everyone. Dominic was a person that people love to hate, and now that he won, he's a champion, people are gonna love to love. We'll see how long that continues, but at least for WrestleMania, Dom was like one of the biggest baby faces of the night. And I think it's awesome. He finally gets his moment, his title, and I'm looking forward to the matches to come for that, and hopefully he has a decent ring. So also the match was great. It was fast paced, no breaks, and it was everyone got a chance to shine, do some moves, and yeah, Dom gets the win in a great IC title match. Randy Orton held an open challenge for anyone to come and face him, and my biggest takeaway for that is say his name and he appears, because the one to answer the challenge is none other than Joe Hendry. And if you're not familiar with Joe Hendry, he's a TNA champion, TNA being a different company that works with WWE. And he has been one of the most viral, most over superstars of the last 3-ish years, I would say. And the match is what it was. Randy Orton beat him and then RKO'd him again for good measure. But that's not the point. The point is the TNA champion showed up at the biggest show of the year, and he had a cool, fun moment. So great spot. Randy gets his win. Everyone's happy. Next, we have Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles, and my takeaway for this was Karrion was right. Clearly, AJ, you should have took those brass knuckles and punched the shit out of Logan Paul, but he didn't. And Logan, who has no problem taking advantage of anything, found a way to get the best of you, AJ, and he beat you for 1, 2, 3. So now Logan Paul will most likely slide into the World Heavyweight title picture, especially with Jey Uso winning it, and you still have to deal with Karrion Kross. So AJ Styles, I want you to think about that. Just think about it. Decent match, by the way. But just think about it. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez lost their women's tag titles to a Lyra Valkyria and a returning Becky Lynch. And my takeaway for that is just Becky's back. Becky's one of the most over superstars of the last decade. And anytime she's on TV, it's a good thing. We say this every new women's tag champs, that this will be the jolt that the division needs, and it's not. I don't see it happening here. Maybe a short reign, but hey, we'll get some fun between now and then. So cool. Thanks for coming back, Becky. Sucks for Liv and Raquel. I want to see Liv and Dom as champs at the same time, but I'm curious to see how Judgment Day looks going forward. So whatever match, decent match too, whatever. And now we have the main event of night 2 and the main event of all of WrestleMania, in which John Cena became a 17-time champion, defeating Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. And this one was expected but disappointing. It was a match that the biggest gripe with the match, and it's not me being an internet wrestling fan, it is legitimately a plot hole, in that one of the biggest points of the feud, and especially with Cody in the last 6 months and with John Cena in the last 2.5 months, was John Cena sold his soul to The Rock, and The Rock cannot be bothered to show up at WrestleMania. Okay, The Rock, who's had an issue with Cody for a year now, over a year, can't be bothered to show up. It's not like he's gearing up to wrestle. It's not like he was gearing up to carry a feud by himself. He could have literally had one day, flown out, showed up, and did his thing. Travis Scott was there, and kudos to Travis Scott. Travis Scott, he played his part well. He really did. But the fact that The Rock was a focal point of this feud and can't be bothered to show up when his plan succeeds, and a culmination of the plan, it left a sour taste. It brought down a main event that to me, never hit a second gear. And that's like, again, like I said in predictions, this is not the same John Cena you're used to 10 years ago. He has lost a step. It was up to Cody to carry, and Cody Rhodes could only do so much. And overall, it wasn't bad by any stretch, but the main event of WrestleMania needs, especially the last 2 we had, it needs to be great and fun and all that. It just wasn't. And like I said, it's expected but disappointing. That's all I got to say about that. So with all that being said, my overall takeaway from WrestleMania 41 is a forced decline. When we had 39, we have 40 to build on 39. You really can only build so much, and you just knew a Mania was going to take a back seat to kind of reset things and get the hype level middle again. And I expected it to be 42. I didn't expect it to be 41 or maybe 43 once this Rock Roman stuff's over, which I expect to hopefully happen at 42. But I just didn't expect it at 41. I thought this would be up to the right, up to the right, up to the right, and it wasn't. And maybe that's on us as fans, myself included, for putting too big of expectations on this weekend. Maybe it's on the booking team for not really booking something WrestleMania worthy. Hopefully take this, move forward, and build. But as I always say, we won't know until we know. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, like and subscribe. Let me know how you guys enjoyed WrestleMania. You can find me everywhere at It's Heartfelt, but in this video, I'm just Heartfelt. I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Peace.